create something to street height and prisoners.
Yeah, those guys are doing a job.
I think they do.
They did a very good job.
Yes.
I'd like to call to order the regular meeting of council November 11, 2013. First we'll have an invocation by Reverend Lukish, followed by a pledge of allegiance by myself.
Let's join our hearts in prayer. Eternal God, sovereign of creation, Lord of the nations, we give special thanks today for those brave men and women who have gone to fields of conflict, who have laid down their lives, who have given their best to preserve our freedoms. And we thank you for the gift of liberty that you also have given us. We thank you for the wisdom that comes from above, and pray that we will all be inspired with your thoughts and your ways. We ask for your guidance and direction. We ask it in the name of the one who calls us to be holy, and in the name of the one who sets us free. Amen.
I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Secretary, call the roll.
Craig, here. Robin Craig.
Here.
Rick Davis.
Here.
Betty Michelle. Karen Martinelli. Here. Frank Michaels.
Here.
Joseph Chalk.
Here. There being a quorum, we should now dispense of matters of business before this council. First, I'll entertain a motion to approve the minutes of the regular meeting held on October 7th, 2013.
Second.
Moved by Ms. Martinelli, second by Ms. Craig. On the question, corrections, clarifications, or additions? On a roll call vote?
Mrs. Craig. Yes. Mr. Craig.
Yes.
Mr. Camus.
Yes.
Ms. Martinelli. Yes. Mr. Michaels.
Yes.
Mr. Chalk.
Yes. Motion passed. Next, I'll entertain a motion to approve the minutes of the work session held on October 21st, 2013.
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Mr. Craig, second by Mrs. Craig. On the question, corrections, clarifications, or additions? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passed. Is there a presentation, Barbara?
No.
Okay.
Let's see.
Communications?
I have several I have emailed to council, and I'd just like to summarize them. We had a call from Gail Gajewski about 4 or 5 times. I had spoken to her on several occasions about the damage that was done on River Street with a pave cut. I spoke with Pennsylvania American Water, and they are going to repair it. I just don't know when. They're trying to do it as soon as possible. She's having terrible problems with the shaking and everything of when a heavy-duty truck passes by. So they are going to do it as soon as they possibly can. We also received a letter from Rosen, Jenkins, and Greenwald about creditors for 93 Bedford Street, and it's spoken with Jamie Long from Rosen, Jenkins, and Greenwald, and we're just trying to let everyone know in the event that we have any liens or whatever that they are to be looked at as soon as possible.
Do we go check our files?
I had Tom look into any property maintenance, and I don't think there are anything for that resident
Okay.
at this time. We also received a letter from Dottie Yurkowski. She is one of several people who are requesting reimbursement for trees that had to come down. She had a very hazardous situation. Our street department couldn't go out to help her with the way that the branches broke. It broke into the crook of the one tree limb area, and it was very dangerous. And we didn't have a bucket truck sizable enough to go up to do that, nor did Kingston when they offered to help us. And she had got the tree removed, and it was $600. She's asking for, was it 600 or 600? And she's asking for any reimbursement. I would like to have council review these tonight to see if there would be any reimbursement.
Is the maximum reimbursement $250?
Yeah.
And we only had $500 budgeted this year for the Shade Tree Commission, and that has not been done for, I understand, a few years.
What's not been done?
Reimbursements.
We've made reimbursements every year.
Yeah, we made reimbursements, but only if the having the tree taken down by the Shade Tree Commission was, or having the tree taken down was approved by the Shade Tree Commission. Then we would cost share. However, this being an emergency,
I had 14 removals that were approved this year. So far.
did any of those people ask for?
That's what I brought up when I'm bringing this up tonight. There's several correspondence about reimbursement.
And we just didn't reimburse the others?
We did not.
But they asked for
They
reimbursement.
did not. I have
Oh, okay.
people who are
Okay.
asking. If I could just share that with you.
Oh, okay.
Reimburse some, reimburse everything.
Well, I think the ordinance says as funds are available.
As funds are available, you're correct.
It's not available.
So that's the end. I mean, council can do what they want, but that's,
There's $500 that was budgeted, and there's $490 in the Shade Tree.
Okay, so, but this is the person who's asking for the reimbursement.
I have
In what? Yes.
Mr. Zelinski and Shirley. There were only two of them, sorry. Scotty Yurkowski and Mr. Zelinski.
Okay, so two people right now are asking for reimbursement on, now, the other one, not, Mrs. Yurkowski, the, Mr. Zelinski, was that an emergency situation as well, or did the Shade Tree Commission approve that tree being taken down?
Yeah, the Shade Tree Commission approved it. Know that it is, it was hazardous, but I don't think it was as an emergency as.
But I mean, as long as the.
Oh, yeah, it was approved, all 14, and that's a rough guess, Rob. I went through the file today, and there's just a lot of trees that are just in the, you know, it seems to be a timing kind of thing where a lot of these trees are just dying right now.
Right, but these are the two people who are asking us to reimburse them.
That is correct.
Right now, yeah.
Yeah.
we haven't reimbursed all year.
No.
I just got asked, and these are the first two that have requested this year?
You're correct.
Those ones available.
Yeah, so, and how much is available in the Shade Tree account? $490, you said?
That's what we have in the account.
I'll make the motion then that we reimburse, Mrs. Yurkowski and, Mr. Zelinski
Yes.
to the tune of $245 each for removal of the tree on the tree line. $245 being, half of $400.
Here's a motion by Mr. Craig. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Mrs. Craig. Question? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passed.
Can I continue, John?
Yes, please.
We received a letter from Shirley Zoner. She had a blockage in her lateral, and it was also blocked in the street. I had Wyoming Valley Sanitary Authority there, our street department, she had Roto-Rooter there. There was a blockage in the main line as well, and she asked that she would be reimbursed $250 for the bill that she had incurred with Roto-Rooter because of the blockage, basically due to the main sewer line. I don't know of anyone who has been reimbursed anything like that, and correct me if I'm wrong.
Traditionally, what we have done, and this is not, it hasn't been a while, is we will pay for anything from the curb out. So if it's from the curb in, it's their responsibility.
Well, they're saying if it was in the main, then
Right.
it's our responsibility.
But we treated them, right?
We
Was it the
treated,
main, wasn't it, or?
we treated the main after the fact that she had Roto-Rooter there because she had not called us, she had just called Roto-Rooter, and we discovered that it was blocked in the main as well.
As well. So her ladder was also blocked.
Correct.
And
Roto-Rooter was
there's a bill.
blaming our main, and Wyoming Valley Sanitary Authority just said that they had to clean the main.
The
How,
bill was $250.
That's pretty cheap, actually.
as council's,
She wants the whole.
yes, it is council, I mean, council's, we've always, it's setting a precedent. We've always said curb in is homeowner's responsibility, curb out is our responsibility.
And this is from this is after the curb, it's the main, right?
No, they cleaned her lateral.
It was her lateral that had to be cleaned by Roto-Rooter. It was our main line that also had to be cleaned.
No, sanitary authority did that.
But she's saying that because the main was blocked, it caused her lateral to block. So she's essentially blaming the main.
And what did sanitary authority say? It just needed to be cleaned?
There was a blockage and it had to be cleaned. That's all it.
I think if it was the main that was blocked, we should take care of it for us. I'll make a motion to reimburse it.
Second.
Motion by Mr. Craig, second by Ms. Marnelli, on the question?
Yeah, so in other words, we're paying for that part, that's her lateral, that's technically her responsibility, right? Regardless of what concept.
But it's our main that was blocked.
The main block, where are you going?
Well, this, I'm only gonna tell you what we've done in the past, is when people have said blamed the main on us, we require them to provide video of that. And it's been a while, and we did that, and 9 out of 10 times it wasn't the main, but if you're just gonna take it on their word,
Well, the sanitary authority is saying.
the sanitary authority isn't saying that's what caused her blockage. Did she have tree roots in there? We don't know. We don't, does she have terracotta? Is it collapsed? We don't know.
Okay, may I ask if, in the event that I can get additional information from Bob Barnard, our street foreman, that if there was anything that was blocking her main, such as tree roots, that we do not reimburse.
I would like more information from the sewer authority and from Bob Warner. Exactly.
What kind of information is Bob gonna give us?
Well, they went out as well to inspect the whole area. Maybe he can give me better clarification. If there was a main blockage and it affected her lateral, I need to know if there were any other issues, like Joe said, because we are basically gonna set a precedent if we, continue to do this.
I have no problem putting that out until the December meeting, if we can get some additional clarification. Karen, are you okay with putting it out for the December meeting?
That's fine.
Okay. And as long as it's put on the, as long as it's on the agenda.
Okay, no problem.
Okay.
We also received a letter from 44 Park. They're planning Santa in the park for December the 14th from 1 to 3, rainy day December 15th. Santa will be there to take pictures. There will be ornaments for the children to personalize and hang on the tree, and a box for letters to be sent to the Alta at the North Pole. I received an email from Mayor Holtz today that the Christmas parade I should say holiday parade.
No, you can say Christmas party.
Is November the 24th, and they would like to know if we want to coordinate anything. I don't know if we're able to do that at this time.
Yeah, I sent that email. They're beginning to have a place, but there's no way.
And I don't know if anyone else would volunteer to take anything on to do both, unless there's someone that would like to.
What is the family's in the park? Like, traditionally, all we've done in the past was light our Christmas tree. The parade starts in one, and we goes to our park, and we light the tree at the end. What else is it, or the one we requesting?
Boyd asked if they wanted to do any of the tree lighting in the park, and if anything else was to be coordinated. If we're going to have two separate festivities, that's not an issue.
Well, I think that's fine. I just didn't know, maybe there was more requests for,
They just want permission to use the park.
yeah,
On the 14th or the 15th, depending on.
that's the families.
Yeah.
And when's the
November 24th.
week before Thanksgiving?
Right. Yes, you're right.
All right, so, but can we coordinate the street department with lights on the tree again?
Oh, that we can do, but is anyone going to be there to light the tree?
Or the mayor,
Will be there.
The mayor will be there, Santa Claus is gonna be there.
I'm just asking if there's
Yeah.
anything else to do.
We've used the Kingston's bucket truck to do the lights in the past.
Yeah, they did that last year too.
And we have the tree on the timer, so it's on throughout the season.
I don't remember, Barbara, is there garland that they put on too, or is it just lights?
It was just lights.
Just
It's
lights.
just
Well, what
lights.
happened last year, if you recall, some of the lights were destroyed by squirrels. So, you know that one tree is a problem because of the berries that it had. They tried to do their best, but I don't know if there was garland or anything else.
I just couldn't remember. Okay.
Do you know anything about that?
Well, let's find out what
There's no
condition our
garland, it's just lights.
lights
Okay.
are on. Are you suggesting you would like some garland?
No, I'm just wondering if there was, that's all. I don't know if we could afford a little garland, I think that would be nice, but if we can't, we can't.
Let's see the condition of our lights and if we need any
Right,
more.
Yeah,
The
And
lights were in pretty bad shape last year.
Yes, they were
okay.
Very
They were,
expensive.
Yeah.
they were the bigger ones that were very expensive.
Okay.
So we could see about that and,
Okay.
Well,
We need a motion
yeah,
to
I'll-
adjourn.
I make a
Yes.
motion to allow families from 44 Park to use the park for Santa in the Park on either December 14th or the 15th as a rain date.
Motion by Mr. Craig,
Second.
second by Mrs. Craig, question? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passed.
we also received a request from the 44 Business and Professional Association asking for a donation for the holiday lighting project. Mr. Michaels, you had responded to me that you think it would be a good idea to donate. We donated $100 in 2011, and I think $100 would be a nice gesture. It's up to council.
I'll make the motion that we donate $100 to the 44 Business Association for, as a donation for their holiday light campaign.
I'll say that.
Moved by Mr. Michael, second by Mr. Craig, on the question. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passed.
And we had received that response, Joe, from Mrs. Martinelli about the inspection reports.
Okay.
She said that it's the responsibility to have these records on file in the code enforcement department. We requested the inspections from March 2012 to present, and if we had any questions, to call.
Okay.
And then there was an invitation for North Branch Land Trust, Thursday, November 21st at the Westmoreland Club. There's a luncheon. Andy Rosa, the executive, is going to be here to discuss the importance of land conservation and open space. If anybody would like to go. And then I received an email today, and I didn't print it out, I'm sorry, but it was for December. There's a meeting with Pennsylvania Economy League. I had sent that out to everybody. There's a luncheon for December 6th, I believe is the date, 12 to 1:30. I would actually like to attend that if I could. And if anyone else would like to go, so I can register.
Is there a fee?
$15.
How much?
15.
Motion to authorize Barbara to attend the PEL luncheon and to pay the $15 fee. By Mr. Craig.
Second.
Second by Mr. Craig, on the question. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passed. If anybody else on council wishes to attend, please let Barbara know. I think we can, at the December meeting, approve reimbursement for the cost of attending.
There's only one more last thing that I have about Tom's Tree Service. We had to call due to the tree that fell on 1390 Wyoming Avenue with the accident that we had down here. Because of an incident report that I received from Officer Stone, I would just like to know how, if anything is going to be done for the responsibility of the homeowner. If there's any claims, do we submit a bill to them? Do we just pay for anything? What have you done in the past? Because I don't know that.
I would suggest submitting to the insurance right now. Would that be the appropriate thing?
Yeah.
Submit to the insurance and see what they say.
Yeah.
Just wanted to clarify that it can be done because of the damage that was there. We received a bill for $600 and if we'll pay for it, then I'll seek the reimbursement.
Yeah, I think submit it and then.
See what happens.
And I know in the past, the borough has reimbursed people for damage they're caused by falling trees.
Okay, thank you.
Because it is our tree.
Right.
It is and isn't, right, Sam? That's the gray area.
Well, the adjacent homeowner is responsible for maintenance of the tree, but the actual tree itself remains the property of the borough.
I don't know that we've ever really resolved that issue, Rob. I know that we've always maintained jurisdiction over how the tree lawn is maintained in terms of the lawn itself and the tree itself. But I think that if push came to shove, I think that would probably be the position of the borough, is that the trees are ours. And we've had that situation come up several times with those types of issues, but,
Yeah, we had a car 20 years ago that a tree fell on it right up here in the middle of a thunderstorm and the borough's insurance paid for the damage to the car.
right, I know some of the residents have taken issue with our position on that at times, but it's
Well, that's state law, isn't
it's
it?
been our theory, and it's been our position, but I'm not aware of a state statute that says that we own our trees. But if there is, I apologize, I'm not aware of it. But, we haven't had that theory tested, but we have taken that position consistently.
I think I remember reading something to that effect, that, the tree lawn, is owned by the borough, the adjacent property owner is responsible for its maintenance, but, ultimately, the ownership of that property is the borough's. Or the municipality, I think is what the law reads.
Okay. Well, we're going to submit it to them. Okay.
Thank you. And I just had one more thing that I did not have a chance to get. I may have forwarded the email. We received a letter from Chuck Barnett from USDA that our engineer agreement for the 44 paving project was approved. And he's just notifying us that there's an executed copy for our records. And that's all I have for that.
So what's the next step, and then we can go ahead and design it?
I would think that we can, because we had talked about that before. I'll clarify that with him if you do anything about permission to do that. That is our next step, to have authorization to apply for them to start designing.
I would like to make sure it keeps moving, so
I
I would ask for a motion to authorize Quad 3 pursuant to USDA's okay that they begin design of the street paving project.
So moved.
Second.
By Mr. Randall, second by Mr. Craig. Question? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passed. So yeah. Okay, at this time, we'll have residents and taxpayers' comments and petitions regarding agenda items only. Is there anybody up here wishing to address council tonight on an agenda item? Okay, there'll be an opportunity towards the end of the meeting for opportunity to address council on any matter whatsoever. Treasurer's report. I'll entertain a motion to adopt the treasurer's report of October 30th, 2013 as presented. Moved by Mr. Craig. Second by Ms. Martinelli on the question. Barbara, I do have a question on the report. I think they go together, but the very first line item, 30110, 228, 351.44, is the reason why it's so high in October? Is that almost
we did
one-third?
a transfer, Joe,
Okay.
funds.
That takes me to my,
tax account.
yeah, that takes me to my next question, that I show almost $600,000 in the tax account, and we did that transfer, we still have $372,000.
Do,
It's the reason why it's in the tax account, not the general fund?
because we just do the transfer to pay off the tax anticipation like it's on the agenda for this evening.
Well, why would they increase 72 in the tax account?
That was just transferred today for 251.
Oh, so there's gonna be, in the November, more is being transferred? Okay. Anybody else have any other questions? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passed. Engineers report, they're not here, did they say anything?
I didn't receive anything. The only thing that I would ask is that we do it on the agenda, but notice in the morning.
Right. General business. I'll entertain a motion, Toto, to accept the reports of the American Police Department, 44 Volunteer Fire Chief, Kingston Fire Chief, and Code Enforcement Officer.
And also the Wyoming Valley Sanitary Authority had the minutes that I had sent.
Oh, yes, you did. I apologize. Include that one, please.
So moved.
Moved by Mr. Craig, second by Ms. Martinelli on the question. I'd just like to take a moment to commend Police Department, who seems to have been very active lately. I know they've been faced with a lot of difficult challenges over the last month, and I want to thank the officers for showing their professionalism and what this borough is about. Community, I don't need to rehash it, but please let the officers know that we appreciate their service. Okay, any further questions? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passed. Next, I'll entertain a motion to approve the notice of award and the notice to proceed to Mr. Rehab for the sewer project. So moved by Mr. Camus,
Second.
second by Mr. Michaels. On the question, council may remember that back in September, we approved it, but it was only notice.
Of intent.
We had to wait for USDA to get back to work essentially, when they
Yeah.
shut down before we could do the formal approval.
And they would actually like to begin tomorrow, if possible.
Tomorrow?
Yeah.
Okay. Can we put out, no, we won't get to tomorrow's paper, can we put out a notice that sewer work will begin in the paper? Any other questions? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passed. Next, I'll entertain a motion to approve a 3-year contract. Is that what this is, Code Red?
Yes.
Contract, 3-year contract with, for Code Red in the amount of $5,010.
That's correct.
what my request was that I can solicit businesses to try to raise the money for the first year, and then see if we can develop some other means to pay for it after that.
Okay. But as a backup, the borough would, and that's why I'm asking for the borough to commit to this contract.
I think that's a good program. I think everybody would agree.
It's 5,000 for 3 years?
Correct.
Oh, we have to go up to 5,000.
It's 5,000 for the first year, and then based on users for the following 2. The contract is a 3-year contract. I spoke with them about what happens if we don't have the funds to pay for year 2 and year 3, and they stated that there are no penalties. We couldn't be forced to pay any monies. And I would get that in writing before we would begin the program.
I thought it was my understanding that we had a 3-year agreement with them, but we did not have to be bound to that.
Right, it's a 3-year contract that we're promising that we're going to try to purchase their service for 3 years.
And then what does this service do again?
It allows every department in the borough, police, fire, street department, administrative offices, to immediately notify every resident and business person in town, even those passing through that wish to subscribe to the program, through emails, text messaging, telephone, all sorts of media outlets, Facebook, of any incidents. For example, when we had the high waters and we had to evacuate the town, in an instant, you can notify every resident and business person of the evacuation. If we have a school lockdown, you can send the message right to the school and surrounding businesses and residents that there's a school lockdown and the reason for it. If we wanted to change our garbage day because of a holiday, you can send a message out to all residents to notify them that the garbage pickup will be Wednesday instead of Tuesday this week.
There's a
Does it do Amber Alerts too?
I'm sorry?
Amber Alerts?
Amber Alert? That's a little different, but I
Does
guess
it do Amber Alerts?
you can use it for missing persons. You can use it for anything that you can think of to get messages out to the public and the residents of the businesses.
Chief, you mentioned depending on how many users, could this potentially double?
No. No, it's based on $1 per user. So you figure the resident population, business population, no.
But it's only,
They're
it's only for
fine.
people it's $1 per person who signs up for it?
It's, right, $1 per user is what they base it on.
So that's how they came up with their fee. That's how they arrived at their
That's
fee.
how they came about it.
So the barrel will be less than $5,000?
It could possibly be less.
Because I mean, we have less than 5,000 people in the town,
Right.
and not every one of them is going to sign up for it.
Right, but they also count the business population and the employee population as well.
Do we get a refund if, 5,000 people don't sign up for it?
I doubt it because you're paying for the service for the first year. I mean, that's how they base their cost. I'm not saying that that's what the actual bill represents. They base their cost when they sell their program at $1 per user.
I'll make a motion for it. Go ahead.
Motion by Mr. Camus, second by Mr. Michaels.
Margins, do we have the money for this? It's getting near to the end of the year. How do our finances look?
We can make it contingent upon my obtaining the money through solicitation for the first year.
I think that's a wonderful idea.
Yeah.
We don't have to worry
Frank and Rick would have to.
I'm really hoping
modify
that
that.
businesses in town will see the benefits from them as well as businesses and buy into it.
I'll buy it.
Would we have to change the motion?
Wait, I just have Rob asked a question, I just wanted to understand. So, in your October treasury report, you show we have a balance of $170,000, 620. And in the tax account, we had $600,000. We transferred 228 for bills this month, we're doing another 250 next month, that leaves us with roughly 100.
We'll be doing another 250 this evening if
Right.
we have that, because we transferred that as
Right.
well.
But still, just my quick
There's-
math in my head, it shows that we have $250,000 through the end of the year.
I don't think it's a $250,000, I think it's about 100 and maybe 70,000.
Well, that's what it is today.
And what are our monthly bills?
Estimating, well, it depends.
What I'm saying, Barb, is if we go and approve this, I mean, notwithstanding the chief trying to get, funding for this, if we go ahead and approve this now, and you cut a check for $5,000, is that going to put you in a bind and trying to pay the bills, December 14th or December 30th or 31st?
Well, I did tell them that we won't be starting this program until January if we were to start. I see no benefit in starting it in December.
So we wanted to get a bill until January next year anyway.
I don't foresee that being an issue.
And then that gives me time to try to get the funds going. Because I'm hoping it's on a tax dollar.
I think this is a wonderful program. I was just concerned that,
I agree.
that we would have the money to pay for it, that we're supposed to be behind the eight ball.
I think we should be okay. And
Okay.
if we could wait until January, that we can have the chief, see if we can solicit the businesses, that's
They also can set up a webinar for us if you were interested in seeing how it actually operates in real life. They can do an online presentation for us.
Who supplies the information for the alerts? We would have.
They have the database.
Well, like say there was an issue at the school, we have to notify this corporation or whatever company that there's an issue at the school, so we can send out the alert, or how do they know?
It's web-based, we would be able to send
So we would-
any certain
Okay.
business areas or districts in town, or everyone.
Okay. All right. So, we're approving it. The chief is going to solicit donations. It's not going to start till January next year. We won't see a bill until January next year, so there's no financial issue for the end of this year. Okay. Any further questions? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passed. Barbie, I don't understand the next one, maybe because I missed the last work session, but please.
We did discuss at the last work session about the, people had asked if we could have the sewer collected in-house instead of having Berkheimer collected. Obviously, there were some big issues with proper crediting of their accounts with Don Wilkinson Agency and receiving bills that, the records that Berkheimer received conflicted with their records. So we had several people that came. Bonnie, I can't tell you how many we dealt with that we tried to resolve, which we did resolve quite a few. There was a suggestion that we save some money by not billing quarterly, and we would have to change our ordinance to do that. I think, Rob, you had expressed that you would like to see Mr. Jeffrey at that time to see about what he would propose. He had given us an email, and if I can go into that briefly. He proposed that he would charge $1.25 for the first mailing per bill, which would be $2,287.50. If a bill would be paid quarterly, he would charge the price of $1 for each quarterly payment. If the account would go delinquent, he would charge $1 per account for each notice sent by letter regarding the delinquent collection. If an account goes to the magistrate after becoming delinquent, a price of $10 to attend the hearing held against that property owner. All postage and supplies, copies, envelopes, etc. would be the cost of the borough. and any advance monies to a magistrate would be put up by the borough. Sam, I believe that's the way that we have to do everything anymore. You have to pay for everything first. And then the above prices do not reflect the initial setup of the database or programs purchased from an outside provider. Whatever work you would have to do to be involved in beginning startup of the collection would be based on a $15 an hour fee. So I ran a few numbers and I said, okay, let's just play the devil's advocate and say that we have to be charged for 1,830 bills at $1.25. That's $2,287.50. If half of the people went on a quarterly payment, that would be $4 times 900 people. That's $3,600. If we had $250 towards any expenses for the delinquent price for Rod to be able to go to a hearing, and if we had 5 hours of training or whatever, if we ended up doing it to set it up with QuickBooks or to do it with a program, Ron was trying to see if, somehow, based on what happens with the county, we could use the RBA system or not. We don't know that yet. If we did the postage at 46 cents, which I was told there's a potential increase for postage to increase in February to 49 cents. But rounding it off, say anywhere between 7,000 and 8,500, based on the way that he want to be paid for the type of collection. Berkheimer charges is $10,749.36 for their billings plus any postage, which I don't have an exact number. So it would be at least a $2,500 to $3,000 savings.
Can I ask a question? Let me play dumb. Has there been complaints about Berkheimer that we're looking to do this?
We did have complaints about the office phone number for Scranton. I myself had called, left a message, did not receive a return call. 2 weeks it took for a return call.
Okay. Has Berkheimer not opened it?
I'm sorry?
Has Berkheimer we're talking?
Yes.
Okay.
There were some of the things that, I did send to the director of sales, and he did have those addressed. And I did have some people come in, and I had sent those to him as well. But there are people that have called and said, they've called their 800 number, because when we gave them the Scranton number, it didn't work. We gave them an 800 number, and it took them, a week or two to get back to them. Some people said they didn't get a response. So, I could say maybe we could count on 2 hands, 10 to 15 complaints, but they're complaints. Mm-hmm. And I feel that, if there's a problem, let them rectify that problem. But I think part of the confusion was the very beginning with the balances from their records that they received from Wilkinson, which I think has, now changed because they have a better handle on it.
Should we find one for it? So what kind of problems are we going to create by doing this?
There's a clean slate that's going to be for 2014 if you have it with Mr. Jeffries.
So he's not going to go collect anything previously?
No.
And then, so we're proposing that we change the ordinance to say we bill one time, but give people the option to pay quarterly?
Correct.
And how
That's
would,
what they discussed at the work session, right?
how would the residents tell Ron that they're going to pay quarterly?
They would have a bill with 4 quarterly payments or the option to pay annually on that bill.
And when would we bill?
If we could bill, the way Ron had said to me, if we could get this prepared with the change of the ordinance adopted and everything by the end of December of 13, we can bill for January. We can have the first payments be here by March 31st.
So we're going to have bills going up for the year.
Yeah, there's a lot of people that have bills going out the first of the year.
Sounds good to me.
Yeah.
I just want to say,
one more thing, is that when we first did this 2 years ago, Ron didn't want to do it because of the quarterly issue. That his feelings has changed now?
His proposal is what came in the email, Joe. I know that things were taken away from him before. Robin asked if I would ask him. I offered to even ask if Bonnie would be interested in doing that as well. And,
I'm just asking because I was at a one-on-one with Ron, he told me he didn't want to do it because of the quarter.
when was this?
When we first did this.
Oh, that was back in
Remember when we first did this?
2010?
Yeah,
Oh,
he didn't want to do it.
well, his email was from October 28th. He said, "I'd like to thank you for the opportunity to submit a proposal to have me collect the 2014 borough sewer fees. I have given it great thought and arrived at the following decision. I would like to know if you would have me collect for the full 4-year term, which I would begin serving in January of 2013. If you so decide, then the fee schedule would be as follows." And that's what I just quoted.
Well, my thoughts on this are, even if this wasn't a savings to us of, $3,700 or even $3,000.
It may be less, Rob.
Yeah, it might, that's what I'm saying, even if it was, say it was only $1,000 savings. The fact that people can actually come in and talk to the person who's doing this and not have to deal with some corporate office that's in Scranton or further away. Ron Jeffrey lives in the town, people know him.
It's all over the place.
Yeah,
I think he knows a lot of the people with,
yeah,
just off the top of his head for how many situations I've spoken to him about.
exactly. I think that this is the right way to go. Even if we weren't, even if this was revenue neutral, I think this would be the way to go.
I agree, 1,000%.
And I look upon it
Well,
as a
it's
way
easier for the people.
Right.
where we have something that we're giving convenience to the people, because speaking as one of those people that called the 800 number, first of all, get put on hold for an indefinite amount of time, and then you finally get to the recording that says, please leave your name, phone number, and a brief message, and someone will be back to you within. I have yet for him to get back to me, whereas I know if I have a question to Ron,
Yeah, you best to Ronnie follow up, they'll give you an answer.
sometimes bigger is not better.
No.
You can see him at the time.
What kind of question, or not kind of question, what kind of notice do we have to give Burkheimer to
I think it's a 30-day notice.
You think it's 30
I'm
days?
almost positive, Jim. I can confirm that for you. I'm sure I can.
Doesn't Ron have other things set up? I think it's not, was it the business and professional fee and other fees? That when you get your coupon, there's one here if you're gonna pay it all in one shot?
Yeah.
And then there's
It
4
is-
other
Yeah,
coupons?
I think mine was all in one shot, or you could pay quarterly if you wanted to.
What if it's 60 days?
If it's 60 days, then we change the billing to be
Yeah.
accordingly. I mean,
Yeah.
So that's my question, is what kind of mess is that gonna leave in 2014? I don't know, I'm just asking questions, I don't know if we have the answers.
I agree with you as far as the timing of everything. I'm sure we would have to have that in place. We have to make sure that we would change the ordinance and have that in place as well. Can you go pull the contract out for the?
No, I'm just asking a question, I don't know.
The contract.
We need to,
It's either 30 or 60 days, Joe. I really can't remember.
Right.
Did you remember? We can wait till February to bill if we have to.
so that's my question, so Burkheimer's gonna bill, how's Burkheimer gonna share who didn't pay, and how long are they gonna
We
wait?
could even instruct Burkheimer not to send out the bills. I mean, if it's,
If
if
we
it's
terminate
November
their
11th.
contract, then they are not going to send out a bill.
I was in business and I got a commission, I'd send out that bill. And I had the contractual authority.
Maybe we should look at the contract.
Yeah, that would be a good thing.
Like I said, it's either a 30 or 60 day notice.
But there's a big difference between 30 and 60 days.
Well, why don't I go pull the contract and that way you can look.
Okay. contract says it's.
Well, I just,
it's the right thing to do.
so we know how to direct Mr. Jeffrey,
Yeah.
but it's a no-brainer, have Mr.
Yeah.
Jeffries do it,
Yeah.
straight up.
When I was doing the surveys on Butler Street, I encountered, I don't know how many people talking about that. They weren't really, I mean, they were interested in the survey, but they were also saying, what do you do about the sewer thing? And they called, and because it's Butler Street in Kingston, and a Butler Street in Forty-Fort, and the zip code is 18704 for both of them.
I've had that
Yeah,
problem since
right.
I lived in 44, so
Yeah, Walnut Street to Kingston.
Right, yeah, yeah.
I get my annual earned income tax. For the last 12 years as serving on council, it was 1.5%, or whatever, 1.98% in Kingston. And I have to call them every year. Yo, I'm on council. You still can't get this right. That's Wilkinson. That was Wilkinson.
Every year, I get a form from Berkheimer from my ex-wife, who hasn't lived there since 2000.
My wife gets it in 3 different names. All of them, all of those, capitals, all of them.
Well, I'm just glad you think it, Mr. Jeffries.
Yeah, do we need Barb to be going through this? And
Well, I just think just,
We just want to know when we can say it's starting.
At least you can direct it.
Yeah, just let, and, yeah, we can just give Barb the authority to do whatever the contract dictates. Did we make a motion on this yet?
no.
No.
You know, hey Barb?
We'd have 31 days in December. And let's say even if we have, say, 15 days this month.
She can direct them tomorrow that we're canceling the contract if,
It's,
there's 19 days.
doesn't have
left.
20 days.
Yeah.
That's just about 51 days.
Yeah, so there's gonna be, what, 9 days in? You know, I will make a motion to accept Mr. Jeffrey's proposal to collect the 2014 sewer bills and furthermore to change our sewer ordinance to advertise to change the sewer ordinance per Mr. Jeffrey's proposal.
Second,
Does that make sense to everyone around the?
yes.
Okay, motion by Mr. Craig, second by Mr. Martinelli to approve the proposal by Ron Jeffrey to collect the 2014 sewer bills and to advertise an amendment to the sewer ordinance reflecting
Those
changes.
changes proposed by Mr. Jeffrey. In terms of $1 million option to pay quarterly, basically, the residents so choose.
Any other questions? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? I'm gonna vote no. Barbara, we're gonna move on.
Yeah, hey Barb, don't worry about it right now. Sorry. Don't worry, we're moving on, Barb.
Next, I'll entertain a motion to approve or give approval to Ron Jeffrey to take delinquent sewer recycling collections to the magistrate. I'm assuming that there's $30,000 in outstanding fees,
That's correct.
approximately 50 residences.
I'll,
Is there a motion to
yeah,
authorize that?
so moved.
We'll go to Mr. Craig, second by Mrs. Craig on the question. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passed. Okay. Yep. The next we don't need, right? Ron Jeffries is collecting.
No, this would be for the collections for Berkheimer since 2013 or 2012 and 13. for Creditech to collect the delinquent collections for those years.
Doesn't Berkheimer have their own?
No, this is their sister company. I had asked Keystone Municipal to send me a proposal and follow up with them and,
With Ron Jeffrey collecting, can't we just look at this next year and
no, this is, Ron would be able to do, the delinquents for those years up to 2012. 2012 and 13 that Berkheimer collected, Ron had nothing to do with after that point. We would have to have.
why can't he go forward if he's gonna be a collector?
He doesn't have their data.
Well, as Rob said earlier, just tell them to give us their data. It's our data, it's not their data, it's our data.
When did I say that?
If you want to ask Ron.
We were talking about giving the database.
You'd have to probably purchase the database from Berkheimer.
We're the ones that gave it to them.
I know that it's been updated. Most times they sell a database. I'm waiting for an answer on that.
So this is just for 2 years, correct?
It's for 2 years.
I'll make the motion
Right.
for, yes, for Creditech to, 2012, 2013 to allow Creditech to go after delinquent sewer fees.
Yep.
Motion by Mr. Craig,
Second.
second by Ms. Marinelli on the question. I will say that people that I have worked with in other municipalities do not like Creditech. They are not easy to get along with. And 30% is a very steep rate for this type of service.
It's an add-on fee to the taxpayer.
It's a very steep rate.
But it's not, if they collect, it's not gonna be any less money than we receive.
Right, but I'm just telling you, I just want that on the record. So when people are here, I want on the record that I made these statements. I've seen it, so. Any further questions? All those in favor say aye. Opposed? I'm opposed.
Rick, do you oppose?
Yes.
All right, motion passed. Next, I entertain a motion to approve the contract with the Department of Public Works for 2014 through 2017. Moved by Mr. Craig. Second. Second by Mr. Camus on the question.
I just have one question. We did not finalize the additional day for the half-days, and when they gave up Easter Monday for their first day of hunting, if we could change that to be a personal day.
I thought maybe I missed something, but I thought council agreed that they, in exchange for receiving the 2 days that they have half days as full days, that they would relinquish that first day of deer season.
And that's what I told you, that they gave that Easter Monday to have the first day of deer season some time ago.
Okay.
Whatever contract it was, either the last one or the one before, I don't recall.
Okay.
And putting the 2 half days to giving them 1 full day, I don't think it doesn't cost us very much at all when you're giving a day off. And changing it for the first day of deer season to just being a personal day. I don't think it's an issue.
Well, as long, we can't tell them to take a personal day. It's up to them to take a personal day.
Understood.
So why would we even say that?
Well, instead of changing it, someone had said that it was a little old-fashioned to be calling it the first day of deer season to be off. And when I spoke with the guys, they said, we'll just call it a personal day.
Yeah, but we're not gonna have that in the contract that the day's a personal day. That's up to them.
They have it as
Right,
a
Right.
paid day off.
right. And I thought,
Does anyone around this table have a problem with it being called the first day of deer season?
Not at all.
Yeah.
Not really.
but I thought we agreed that in exchange for the 2 half days becoming full days, The trade-off was they would lose that day, and they could take it personally if they wish.
Okay, I'm gonna explain this again, Joe.
Barbara, I understand what you're saying, but I'm just,
Well, we didn't agree to that then.
okay. Well, that's what we presented to council, was as the agreement that we wanted.
And if this is gonna be an issue, then we have to go back and meet with them, which we have not had an opportunity to do.
Okay?
It's one day to give them extra, because they want 2 half-days.
Mm-hmm.
It's one whole day.
Mhm.
It's not any trade-off with anything else, because that was already done in the past. So it's adding one personal day in exchange for those 2 half-days.
I think we need to look at it again, then, if this is confusing.
Well, over one day,
Yes, that's money.
well,
That's taxpayers' money over one day, that's a couple
I'm
hundred
just
dollars
saying to
every
you-
year for the next, how many years?
Now, let me get this straight. They're giving up 2 half-days.
No, they're not giving up the
they want
half-days.
2 additional
They have 2
They want
half-days.
2 additional
On
half-days.
the Good
Yeah.
Friday, instead of working a half a day, they'd like to have the whole day off.
Okay.
And the Friday after Thanksgiving, they work a half a day, they would
No.
like to have that half a day off, to have the whole day off.
Okay, and just refresh me, what other thing, are we augmenting anything else in their contract, like, any kind of benefits or,
3% raise?
We gave them the 3% raise that they had asked for. Everybody agreed to that that was not much of an increase. Making them whole, Frank, like we had discussed with the insurance, with, I believe it was to parity the police. Joe, help me out with the other, there was one other change with,
There's gonna be a cost increase on that one.
I think it was with Leo.
Right. Yeah, I don't, that's the only thing that has financial impacts.
so,
Yeah.
it's my understanding that we're gonna be asking these guys to be doing a whole heck of a lot more in terms of, the catch basin rebuildings and, a lot of work that we have previously contracted out, we're not gonna be contracting out that either one. If we can give them, 2 extra half days a year, I personally don't have any problem with that.
But it's not 2 half-days.
It is 2 half-days.
Yeah.
They already have the half-days now.
Right,
Right, right, they have
They have
to
half
Okay,
days.
okay,
They
I
want
was, all right,
They
I'm
want
sorry, I
to make
apologize.
it, give them, it would equal one
Full day.
day. Thank you.
All right, I was blown out.
What are they getting now?
It ranges.
Roughly, like $10 an hour?
No.
12,
No,
12,
it's
18.
12 for the part-timer and honestly,
15, 16, 17.
16,
The other one's,
18.
the other one's
Yeah.
better than myself.
Yeah.
12 to 18.
Okay.
Yeah, about 18.
Okay. There's a motion out there in a second.
And what's happening with that first day of, what's happening with the one after Thanksgiving?
They have it off now, it wouldn't change,
They
correct?
have it off now. It stays
They
the
have it off
same.
now, it wouldn't change.
If you want to call it the first day of deer season, you want to call it a personal day.
It's the first day of the season.
Overall, they're getting 2,
2 extra half
they're getting
days.
Black Friday off and they're getting
Good Friday.
Good Friday.
Instead of working a half day
One
on
whole
both those
day.
days, they get a whole day off. Especially with
Okay, I just, on the record, I want my comments reflected because council, I have complained about previous councils giving things away. That I talked about, this is going to be an increased cost that we did not anticipate. And, although it's not a large one, it's a cost, I just want to let the record reflect that I discussed it, and all council understood. Okay, any further questions? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? I will vote no. Next, I entertain a motion to pay the tax anticipation note of $251,993.40 to First Keystone Bank.
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Mr. Craig, second by Mr. Camus. On the question?
Does Who seconded it?
Mr. Gaines.
Oh,
It's hard to hear.
okay. That was scary.
It's on the other side.
That's okay.
Thank you.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passed. The first reading of the budget, or would you like to present that?
I submitted the copies to everybody for the change that we discussed at the work session. Adding in the wish list. Keeping the millage the same of 3.61 and total of expenditures $1,916,457 and make it $358 to round it off.
Hey Barb,
Yes.
with the potential savings that we're going to be having for going to Ron Jeffries for the collection on the sewer fees, can we eliminate, what did we have there, a $4 increase on the, what were you proposing, a $4 increase on the sewer fee?
I was proposing a $4 increase annually. We discussed having change for some potential savings for doing the in-house billing. We don't have to have an increase on the sewer fee, but that's something the council has.
And how many sewer fees are there?
Fees
But
on-
how many sewer bills are there?
There's about 1,800.
1,800, okay.
Maybe
So it wouldn't,
1,830.
it wouldn't be, yeah, so that's 7,200, yeah, so if we didn't increase, it would still be cut, okay, all right. All right, I'm fine then. Just leaving with the $4 increase.
Okay, so I have this straight. It's a 3.61 total mills. 3.11 are dedicated general fund. 0.5 is dedicated debt service, correct?
That's what we had before.
And $129. The new fee, sewer fee will be $129 annually.
Correct.
It's a $4 increase.
It's $1.25.
$4 total.
Correct.
Anybody have any questions?
I move to accept the budget as presented.
Okay.
Second.
Moved by Mr. Craig, second by Ms. Martinelli. On the question? I'd just like to state, once again for the record, that in my view, the budget for 2014 has the opportunity to cut taxes by about $250,000. We can also cut the sewer fee by $25 annually, saving our residents a significant amount of money, and still be able to carry out the services that we currently provide and that are proposed to be provided. Earlier we discussed, we have I feel we have $250,000 to get us through November and December of this year. And I just think we're taking money that we don't need, and that's not good business for a local government. And that's my statement on that. Any further questions? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? I will vote no. Motion passed. Open discussion. Chris Ercolani and Park Sign.
I have not had an update on Betty's condition. Skip, can you tell us how Betty's doing?
Eddie's in rehab now in Kingston Manor. We don't know exactly if she's coming home yet or not. It's up to the doctors, but she is walking with the help of a walker. I took her to the hospital for the reason she fell twice in the same day. I found her in the morning on the floor, God knows how long she was there. And Narita, the nurse, found her in the afternoon laying on the kitchen floor. So I made her go to the hospital, and she had a bad infection. And she was given antibiotics, and she's still on those antibiotics. So it's up to the doctors to see when she'll be coming home. As far as the park, I don't have an answer on that. I will let you know when I know. I'll call and let you know.
We don't know if this is holding up Chris Ercolani's Eagle Scout Board of approval, is it?
He hasn't said that, but one of the things is that, you know, he would like to be able to finalize, I guess, his information for the board. I don't know how long that takes. Rob, you may know more about that than I.
Well, could you find out from him if this is holding up his Eagle Board of review? And if it is holding up his board of review, I'll make a motion to give council to give Barbara the authority to draft a letter on the borough's behalf, stating that Chris has successfully completed this project in the borough. We have not been able to officially present it due to medical issues, but that he has fulfilled all of the requirements that.
He's kept up his part of it.
Yeah, essentially.
And then some.
She'll be able to word it more succinctly than I can do it right now.
Okay. Can we tentatively schedule unveiling at the December, at the Families in the Park thing in December 14th, 15th?
I think that's a very nice idea, Joe.
Joe, I think with their approval, they'll let me bring her here for that.
That's what I was going to suggest. We have enough time that we can request, that we can bring her, we can have it done. This way we'll have people in the park, we don't have to worry about scheduling a third event in the winter.
Yeah, I think we should do it before the dementia gets any worse.
Yeah.
I agree.
And I think it should be done soon. I'm sure I can get the approval to bring her here, because that's quite an honor. And I want her to appreciate it, why she has some inkling of what's going on.
Well, just to give us a backup date then. Okay? Can we use West Side Parade on November 24th as Plan A and the family in the park on the 14th as Plan B? Or would that be rushing it for the 24th?
How do you think it would be even if she had if she's using the assistance of a walker, even if you had a wheelchair to assist her in bar distance, would that be okay?
Yeah, and I could even have Kingston bring her. That wouldn't be any problem. But I won't go any later than the 24th.
Really?
All right, well, that settles it. So let's try to make the arrangements for November 24th.
What time?
What time is the parade? 2?
I think you might be right, too.
I think the lineup is 2, as the parade starts, either.
Is that percentage or?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
We see it.
But then if the doctors happen to say no for the 24th, we still have the 14th as a backup.
Yeah, I'll let you
Because this is
know.
all contingent upon the doctors.
Right.
Hey,
But I'm sure I can get up to 24th.
But this way, if you tell the doctors Plan A and then give them part Plan B, at least they'll know what we're trying to do and why. And
Yeah.
they can do what they feel is best for them, because that's the bottom line.
Well, I'll tell you, one part of the program that she's having this Wednesday, her and a couple of them that are able to get around and understand, they're taking them over to the grill here in Luzerne for breakfast. And they told me today they needed the $20 to take her. I said, okay. So I mean, if she's out and about, that's what I said, I wouldn't be able to go to one.
Yeah.
Well, I'll come, Bob Moyer is I assume is the one that's organizing this.
Yes, I
I'll-
spoke to Boyd.
Okay, I'll talk to Boyd and Bob. We'll plan for the 24th. Skip, I'll get in touch with you to let you know the times.
Okay,
I assume the parade's at 2 or 3,
I
so,
think it's 2, Joe.
yeah, so maybe 3, 4 o'clock, somewhere around that range. just a brief ceremony, because I can't assume that Betty can be out in the cold that long.
No,
Yeah.
no.
So,
All right.
let's try to do it for that day.
That'd be great.
Rob, remind me that he has a motion to authorize the letter.
Yeah.
Rick seconded. Any other questions? All those in favor say aye. Opposed? Pass. Is there somebody else have a question on that? On the, Betty? Okay. We're gonna talk about the local share account application resolutions.
I'm still waiting for some estimates. I had talked to Chief Hunsinger about renovations to the police department, and we tried to take the old application based on Joe's suggestion to try and tweak that a little bit. And the way that the engineers did that, it's kind of difficult to do some real calculations. We're going to probably have to go over a lot of the numbers again to be able to come up with a better number. But one of the biggest things is the window at the police department should have a, say, bulletproof glass, as well as a sliding tray or something to be able to go in that, you know, you don't really have to have that. I honestly think we should have that in our office as well. I'm actually a little afraid to be here alone by myself at times. I've had a few situations that I've had the chief here about an hour with, you know, a disgruntled taxpayer. The office for the fire department, you know, is small, but if it were able to be utilized with the police department, we would be able to do a lot more changes for when prisoners come and different things that they need, the locker room areas. We had talked about doing that down in the basement. Joe, you did a good study, I believe, on changing things down there, but because of the storage of some ammunition and guns and things, I don't know if that's really the best situation for now. And we're looking at probably around maybe $200 and some thousand between having the windows, the HVAC, and some minor changes with the police department in that respect for an application for the local share account. I'm waiting for some additional estimates, so I don't have that finalized, but if I can get that approval even for our next meeting for December, so that we can pass those resolutions, so that I can submit the grant application. I'd really like to see that we could do that for the police department as well as the borough renovations. I'd like to see maybe some office furniture and some carpeting and maybe even some here in our office, that we did some changes. The other application that I thought about submitting for was for municipal sign compliance. We have to do the retroreflectivity on all of our street signs. We have to take a GIS mapping of each stop sign.
Barbara, I thought they canceled that.
Bob Barner told me that they changed the date, that it's not going to be for June of 2014. I haven't had confirmation about that.
Yeah, I mean, I only know because Senator Toomey was one that pushed for that about 2 years ago. I used to work with one of his reps in the state, and they invited me to that event. And I believe the Federal Highway Authority canceled that, but I'll call my contact in Senator Toomey's office tomorrow to find out.
We had a webinar for sign.
The way I understand it, Barbara, is when you replace a sign, as you replace them, they must meet that new standard. There's no, you have to have them all replaced by 2014. That's what the previous one is. To say a stop sign has to be replaced, then at that point, that's when you have to make it retroreflective.
But this is for an application for a grant, correct?
Well, we would look at those costs to be put in for a grant, because where are we going to get the money to even be doing that? Even if Joe said if we did it and replaced it, there are, Bob and I came up with an estimate of probably around $15,000 to $20,000 just in purchasing of the signs and the posts, let alone those on Wyoming Ave that are a little different because of the concrete structures. You know, that's something
Those
that's
are
not-
illegal, by the way.
What's it?
Concrete posts?
Those concrete posts and those signs, they're illegal. If you're gonna do that, they have to replace the appropriate way. They have to do those green signs, 6-inch white letters.
Well, that's what we got our quotes on.
Yeah, they can't be on those concrete posts. Those concrete posts are illegal. You'll never get PennDOT to light even there once you change the signs.
Well,
You
based
just
on,
change the street signs?
Yes.
Or replace the poles?
Yes, they actually, PennDOT may actually require you to file HOPs for every single street.
that might be another issue too,
Yeah,
because of
break
the way
orders.
that, and this is expensive, I mean, it's something that we don't have budgeted, and, you know, I don't know where 40-foot's gonna,
If you let it go, they won't bother you. That's my point.
well, there are some that have to be replaced though, if we
As you
have to
replace
do
them,
that.
then, as they need to be replaced, then you do, that's when you do it. That's the new.
Couldn't we just replace the signs and just not tell them that?
No, that doesn't work that way, Rob. Yeah. No.
Give it 4 PennDOT engineers in town.
We'd find it.
Should replacing a sign.
It's,
That's why they got
a whole
rid of
different animal with the highway occupancy permits and everything today, Rob.
Yeah, there was the main spearheading thing, there was a municipality out in Philadelphia that was gonna cost them $6 million to do that. And their annual budget was like $2 million.
Right.
That's why it just happened, why it got canceled. But
If you would get that
I'm not
contact.
opposed to applying for it, I'm just telling you, we don't have to do it. I don't,
If you would get that contact from
I
me,
will.
I appreciate that.
we have a Senator Toomey staffer that lives on my street.
I'm sorry, what was that?
A Senator Toomey staffer lives on my street,
Oh,
so we can certainly contact Senator Toomey's office.
okay.
For the renovations for the police department, I know you said already, what do you think the overall grant's gonna be?
Probably about 350,000. But the estimates have been different, you know.
I'm just looking for around here, give or take 70,000.
I mean, that's, what, you know,
Okay.
we submitted the application before, it was almost 900,000.
But that includes the basement, the second
Yeah,
floor.
different,
Just out of curiosity, what did we pay for that building last year, 2 years ago?
gosh.
It was almost $1 million.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, I think it was close to $1 million. I know I actually did a shell for about, what, 500,000?
Yeah, it's cheap. It's cheaper to build a new building than to fix this one. You don't want to get rid of this building.
No,
No.
no.
Okay,
So I just wanted to talk about those because,
so December meeting, we have to have those
I think we
resolutions.
have,
Yeah.
but then so I can submit the application.
Yeah, deadline's the end of the year, so that's the last meeting. Residents and taxpayers' comments and petitions for general purposes. I'll take anybody at this time who wishes to address council. Kara, I know you said you want to talk to us. Please stay right there, Kara. Okay.
What's your back?
Okay, I'm here because of the many new trees that are going to get planted this weekend, starting on Thursday. Okay, there's a little mix-up on a couple of the areas, especially there's one tree that's slated to be planted on this year. Yates, 50 Yates. And that gentleman doesn't deserve a tree. Because several years ago, he got a tree from us. He took it home and never planted it. And he never removed the stump on the tree lot until the borough workers finally removed it a couple of weeks ago when they got rid of a lot of the stumps in town. So I'm thankful for that because you can't plant too many trees and you get stumps all over. So that's, I would call him in the morning, that Eric Greco. And I was so proud of him when he came and carried that tree home. But then when I found out that it didn't get planted, he laid it on the garage and it just died. Anyway, that's not good.
Carol, you said you're planting 20 trees?
What was that?
You said you're going to be planting 20 trees?
20 trees.
Were these all people who said that they wanted trees in their yard?
Yes.
Okay. Okay.
Well, Mr. Davis right here said he would take 2 of them.
Oh, no, we'll back up. When I'm ready, I will plant my own tree.
No.
Oh, yes. I just put lots and lots of money into that tree lawn, my sidewalks, and my yard, and I am not even done yet. When I'm finished, I will do my own. That's what was said to you.
Okay. When I'm ready to go for that.
Yes.
Okay. But anyway, we're going to have a tree planting at the Davis Street School on Thursday afternoon. They're not having school on Thursday afternoon, but that's when we're going to plant the 2 trees where they had put concrete in the 2, where the 2 trees had been removed by UGI. And they finally did remove the concrete after they got a letter from the zoning officer, I guess. And grass was put in there. So now we're going to plant 2 flowering trees in it.
Over Main Street.
Anyway, we're just trying to make 44 healthy with trees. A lot of trees, we won't have piece of air to breathe. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Carol.
Thank you, Charles.
Anybody else wish to address council? Somebody behind you.
Building house from 1621 Birmingham. In the budget bills, really. There's not oftentimes that I agree with Mr. Chow as far as raising the sewer fee. Because 2 years ago it was tripled. Now, they want to add another $4 to every resident when they turned around and, okay, they gave the street department a 3% raise and they gave them another day off. Well, what about the residents of 44? Not everybody is working in 44 either. You know, there are people in 44 who have legitimate bills, but they may, you know, like, they don't get any money on interest in the bank. Yet, we're still raising the sewer fee. We tripled it 2 years ago, and now we just want to keep adding to that. That's wrong. Take it easy on the taxpayers of 44.
Thank you.
all that tailgate. Apologize for my haircut, I let my son do it. We just, my name's Mark Roberts, 99 Slocum, and I have a number of serious issues with the 44 police chief which merit attention. And please see the handout where I shrunk approximately 18 letters into 2 pages of the next page. That you can look at that later, but it's a very, very creepy letter that I've been receiving from a person, and after 4 or 5 months, I decided it's got to stop. When serious allegations are made, the typical reaction is to discredit the messenger, especially if you don't know him. Nobody knows me. So here's a little bit about me. I have 2 adopted boys. I grew up at James Street. The only business was Robin Store and Sash. Went to Wyoming Seminary, Wake Forest, Lehigh University. 2 certifications, leadership, Wilkes-Barre. Worked as a high school teacher, senior financial analyst, stock trader, business owner. I lived in 44 for approximately 8 years. I don't drink, I don't smoke. First thing I need to do is give you a lay of the land. Otherwise, the meeting won't make any sense. It's important to know that after a horrible experience with LAG towing in Wilkes-Barre, where cops were literally swearing at me, I took on the mission of exposing corruption at LAG to include both locating and financially helping other victims. LAG towing, with the complicity of police who received kickbacks to tow vehicles, to prey upon the poor and the weak who didn't have the connections nor the money to fight. I've spent at least $20,000 over 3 years helping victims get back on their feet. As a result of my efforts, LAG Towing has lost its city contract. It was all because of me. 2, I also exposed bribe cars that LAG was loaning to cops. This made the front page of the papers, but nobody was charged with anything. This is typical of Wilkes-Barre. Feds then raided the Wilkes-Barre police last year. Given the volumes of material I sent to the FBI, it's hard to believe I didn't have a hand in this as well. And 4, I, with the help of others, exposed the fact that the Wilkes-Barre chief was meeting with an old flame who was a full-blown heroin addict. In doing so, her heroin house was left untouched despite at least 60 complaints. 38-year-old mother of 3 died from overdosing from that house. The cops in Wilkes-Barre, sorry to repeat there, the cops in Wilkes-Barre have tried to apply retribution to me through nonsense charges. The cop's wife took me to court because she didn't like a Facebook post. Nothing happened here. Wilkes-Barre Chief Gerard Sawyer tried to selectively enforce the no trespassing signs behind the police station after I exposed the bribe cars. I was the only person in the history of Wilkes-Barre to be cited for that. That's selective enforcement. The case was dismissed. The most recent charade is the Wilkes-Barre cops trying to pin misdemeanor harassment charges against me for simply calling one night the person I believe is harassing and stalking me. So all these letters that I've been getting, I called to confront the person, I'm charged with harassment. That's when I turned to the chief. Here's what happened. September 20th, knowing I was ready to file charges of my own, the Wilkes-Barre police called the 2 local magistrates to see if I had filed charges, Burla and Roberts. They also contacted the Wilkes-Barre police, or the 44 police. They were trying to set me up by claiming I was filing charges out of retaliation. I filed charges on Friday, September 20th, not even knowing if anybody had filed anything against me. I brought some more materials on Monday. When I saw Chief Hunsinger, he turned white as a ghost with his mouth open. I thought to myself, something was up. 6 days go by. The 44 police give me the cold shoulder. Then I am told that I would not file they would not file charges because I was retaliating. 6 days. This, of course, is nonsense. The state Police told me to take the charges to the DA. The FBI told me that 44 police must accept the charge. So I refiled with the 44 police. Again, I am Bob Hunsinger, reading from there's actually 2 police reports. The second one nastier than the first. From the Change Wilkes-Barre police report tells me that this woman claims to not know me, meaning the sender of the letters, and he tends to believe her. Did you actually talk to her? Did you actually talk to her, sir?
Finish your statements.
Major issues. I don't believe Hunsinger actually spoke about. On what basis would he tend to believe her? I mean, this isn't part of the Sherman Hills, no car, no job, and I believe that, I hear from people that she's mentally ill. Nobody in 22 days ever spoke to me. Did you ever speak to me, Chief?
You came to my office.
Did you ever speak to me? Did you ever have a conversation about this?
When you came to my office, yes, we did.
No, that's a lie. What did we talk about?
You brought a reporter with you. You got a call?
You
brought a reporter with you.
Well, we didn't talk to you. What did we talk about?
I advise you that we will not be filing charges. And that you're free to do that on your own if you so desire.
No. Let's forget. That was a Stone. The day the reporter was here. So.
You just said I never talked to you.
So, how can you talk, nobody in 22 days ever spoke to me, other than 12. They didn't speak to me because they didn't want the truth. How can you not talk to the person filing charges? This is gross misconduct. It's a proper procedure for one police department to tell another one not to file charges against someone, and to actively work to obstruct justice for me. I was given 2 excuses for not having my charge filed. First, it was claimed retaliation. Then when I debunked that, then it was, you don't have 100% proof. But this lady in Sherman Hills, all you have is her word. Is that 100% proof? I don't think so. See the contradiction?
We didn't file charges against you, Mr. Robbins.
But you wouldn't file my charges, that's the problem.
We didn't file charges against you.
But you wouldn't file mine, it's your responsibility to.
You have every right to do that with the magistrate.
No, the state police sent me to you.
And I sent you to the magistrate.
Magistrate won't take anything above the summary offense, just so you know.
You're wrong.
It gets thrown out by the DA.
You're
I know,
wrong.
I've done it. I've been at this 3 years.
Okay, I've been at it for 29 years.
I know, that's a sad thing. The 44 police have offered no help whatsoever. No investigation, nothing. Again, they won't even speak to me. To be honest, I'm a little better off than a black in the Old South. Summarizing, the Wilkes-Barre police poisoned me. Hunsinger was a willing participant to the collusion. And as a result, both the 44th Police and Wilkes-Barre Police have obstructed the justice I deserve. There's no question in my mind that Chief Hunsinger will obstruct and withhold justice for any private citizen if told by another crony from another police department to do so. Thank you.
Mr. Robbins, forgive me if it's not clear from what is in your paper here, but what did you want, what were you looking to have the 44 police file charges for?
I want to file charges against the person that, I can't go into all the details as to why I know who this is, okay? But I want to file harassment, stalking, terroristic threats, and lying on a police report.
Mr. Robbins, how was 44 involved in this?
Because I live here, and I received the letters here. I received the letters here, this is where I go.
So you received all these,
18 of them.
so you received 18 threatening letters?
Harassing, yeah.
Okay, or harassing letters?
And all I wanted to do, state police said, you gotta go to the 44 police. Just so you know, the state police FBI have known about this all along. I've been sending them the stuff. Okay? State police said, you gotta go to 44 police. And I was ignored for 6 days, and I was told it was retaliation.
You advise that if you felt the charges are warranted, you can go to the magistrate. We do not have sufficient evidence to file charges, and we will not file charges under rehab.
Let me suggest this, is I don't think this is appropriate public discussion.
Right.
I think we need, council will need to have a conversation in the executive session to discuss this further.
Okay.
I suggest, okay?
All right, thank you. Let me just say this, okay? I know tensions are high right now, okay? And I'm sure Chief doesn't exactly love me. But if I'm trying to be reasonable here. If he could just help me with the investigation, do anything, say, Mark, come on in and we'll talk, I'd be open to that.
Okay.
I'd be open to that. And everything would stand right here. I just need some help. Okay? Thank you.
Anybody else wish to address council this time? Okay, entertain a motion to pay the bills as presented.
So moved.
Second, moved by Mr. Michael, second by Mr. Craddock. Any question? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
We need to abstain on 413.331.
Okay. 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 Motion passed, no abstentions. We are going to go into an executive session. Sam, I don't know how to, is it personnel? How would I?
I'm not sure what it is that you want to go into executive session about, so can you help me out?
Well, I think there's some allegations about personnel action, so I'm going to.
Okay. You talking about the
What just
last?
happened?
Chief, I don't want you to disclose your investigation because we shouldn't do that as a matter of investigation of the department, but I think he's saying in his discretion, he feels that.
I know, but I feel there's some person, I just want to, I want the council to be.
Very well.
All right, so that's where we're going to go for the personnel matter.
Hey, Rob.
Yeah? Yeah, Karen.
Take me in.
Okay.
I just, like I said before, I'm not trying to get anybody in trouble. If he wants to work with me, I'm fine with it.
That's fine. I know that works out for you.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear you, Carol. Yes, I got in touch with my son.
We got it?
Yes.
What's that?
We got it.
It's up to you. Meeting's not over. It's up to you.
Who the what? I said, I got the information and
Why don't you head talk to Alan and he asked me if he could get that?
I don't know, maybe.